The Community Arts Council is brought to you by...
Picture this. Your family is out to dinner at a Mexican restaurant celebrating your godson's christening. The complimentary basket of chips and salsa has been devoured. But have no fear. A team of servers is on their way with your entrees, and you can't help but anticipate the reactions of your compatriots when they get a glimpse of your order. All of a sudden, the dining room is filled with the warm sensation of meat steam. Your entree has emerged from the kitchen, spewing a trail of succulent mist that fills the establishment with a fragrant and wondrous aroma. Even the house mariachi band stops playing to watch the procession. That's right, you ordered sizzling and crackling fajitas. And now the patrons of the restaurant are wondering why they didn't. Your heart is filled with pride, and you're happy you could give this place such a show. The sizzling plate of your delicious order has given these diners the show of a lifetime. But when it's over, so is the show, right? Wrong. The party continues, all thanks to the innovative minds at United Plates of America. For over 80 years, we've been dishing out the best dinnerware and cafeteria accoutrement to you and your family. Now, we're happy to release a sizzling new invention that's been long in the works. Our signature Sizzling Plate series. Dishware made specifically for people that want to take the show with them wherever they go. Our sizzling plates are designed to simulate the sizzling and steaming experience you get when ordering fajitas in a restaurant. With our innovative sizzle vent technology, which was used on the space shuttle, the dry ice crystals embedded into the plate coagulate and spread steam wherever and whenever you want. Did your mom make you a boring bologna sandwich for lunch? Flop that thing down on one of our sizzling plates and bam! All the lunch ladies are turning their heads and wondering what kind of cool stuff your mom knows how to pack you. Serving pudding again to the guys at poker night? Been there. Instead of serving it in your mother-in-law's old gravy boat, dump that treat onto one of our sizzling plates. Now that's a full house bang checkmate. Got him. Got an important business meeting? Show up sitting Indian style on a large human-sized sizzling plate and there's no negotiation necessary, because you've already won. Just bought a car? That's nice. How about unveiling your vehicle at a local town parade on a car-sized sizzling plate for all to witness? Now that's an idea Henry Ford can be proud of. How about making the best day of your life even better by having your child birthed onto one of our Sizzle Plate Juniors? We have specially trained midwives who are well-schooled in the art of sizzle baby technology to help your baby be the center of the show. Also, a team of paid Hollywood extras will be on standby to react to any sizzle plate scenario you and your family can think of.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's so cool. That's neat.
And now, there are even more sizzle capsules to choose from that, when stuck under your plate and activated, will simulate your desired smelling experience and blow your friends away. Choose from steak and potatoes, aloe, general meat, rutabaga, butter, oriental meats, birthday cake, new car smell. Bring the show wherever you go with sizzling plates.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Community Arts Council.
I am Gordon Fishman.
And I'm Seth Winters.
Welcome to the Enclave Coffee House.
We welcome you here today, everybody. We're live on tape.
Enclave Coffee House, Cleveland, Ohio.
The best city on the planet.
The best city on the planet.
And
no question.
People hear that. People hear us say that. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
That's why we say it.
That's why we say it.
And basically, this is our fourth podcasted episode.
This is our fourth podcasted episode. We've been doing the live show here at the Enclave Coffee House for years.
All of our live listeners, our faithful listeners, are here.
They're here today. We're making coffee. We have things to eat,
and they're rolling their eyes because they know the drill.
Yeah,
because they come all the time.
They come all the time.
But we just got recently on the web. We're out there. Subscribe to our podcast. Thanks for listening so far. For all you new listeners, we're gonna sum it up for you right here.
Exactly.
And this is an open format type of show. We want to inform everybody about the topics that are happening in town.
That's right.
Related to the arts.
The Community Arts Council is all about the arts and the community, period. So, on a typical episode, you might see a poet come up on stage and read a poem. Songwriter, Seth and I just talking about something on our minds.
Yeah, also short stories. Whatever inspires you, come up.
Exactly.
It's a community bulletin board.
It's a community bulletin board, a live community bulletin
board. The local happenings in town, what's going on, the businesses, stuff that's going on. We're trying to keep it global. That's why we wanted to podcast it, because a lot of it's relevant. The world wants to hear what's going on in the coolest town on the planet.
That's right. Why limit it to just the great folks here in the coffee house today? Why not bring it out to the whole world? Which brings us to today's episode. We have a very important topic, frankly.
We're going to get serious.
We're going to get
serious. We don't
serious.
want to drop a serious bomb on you, but
we just kind of did, I guess.
And it's a serious topic. And the thing that I think is crazy about this topic is that nobody ever talks about it.
No one ever talks about it. People are just kind of forget that it's there.
And it's literally in every single one of our daily lives on the entire planet.
Literally.
Across the board.
And I know you're like me. It's an important issue in my family.
Absolutely.
And it just doesn't get enough airtime.
We've been researching this topic for about the last 3 to 5 months.
Oh yeah,
I think I've been doing it about 5. You've been doing it about 3.5 or something.
Well,
4.
I always kind of think about it, but the timeline isn't necessarily important.
Well,
but...
I think it's no. I mean, I've been doing it for 5. I mean, I know slightly more, but you know a lot too. No, it's no big deal. So let's just move on. And
yeah, but I mean, I took in the 70s. I took a class on it, so I for a longer time. I've been interested for it longer than you.
Okay, well, it was a long time.
But
it was a long time ago.
That's neither here nor there.
Anyways, so it's something that at one point in time it was actually more precious than gold.
Literally. And I know you guys don't know exactly what we're talking about yet, but just imagine that there was something once that was more valuable than gold.
And this is something that we consume, we put it in our bodies. It's not only something that we eat though. It's also all around us. It's in a lot of different uses. Things.
Yeah.
We don't want to just give it away. But we'll start with this. And this is your hint.
Black peppercorns.
Dill.
Chili powder.
Fennel.
Cumin.
Garlic.
Cinnamon.
Ginger.
Salt.
Poppy seed.
Cloves.
Jalapeno pepper.
Paprika. And if you haven't guessed it already,
by now,
our topic for today is spices.
And you might be scratching your head thinking, why would somebody do a whole podcast episode devoted to spices? And my first answer would be, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and frankly, it's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about some of these issues. I mean, we use spices every day.
Every single day. It's all around us. It's in everything that we eat. Do you realize how bland, boring, and nasty food would be?
Yeah.
If they didn't have any kind of spices involved with it?
Oh.
This is something that people fought wars over.
Yeah.
This is something that people, entire communities of people was built on.
Yeah.
This is something that people would circumnavigate the globe, pick up some spices, and use it to trade people.
I'm sure many, many millions of people have been killed just over spices.
Over spices.
Literally.
People would have them full of in their satchels, and they'd be bringing them across. They'd be trading them for whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Mules.
And mules, mules. I bet you can trade a whole bag of cumin for a mule back then.
And let me tell you, it's actually funny you bring that up.
Yeah.
Because we're going to launch right into our first story.
Right.
Which is how it was discovered, which was on accident.
Yeah, right. How spices were even found out about.
Yeah, how did that even happen? We had a lot of questions when we first started this thing.
Exactly.
We did a lot of research.
Sure. And this was something that really gave us the idea to talk about this was what was there I can't imagine a time before spices.
Where did it come from?
Where do spices come from? What are they?
And we poured over documents, and we went to the local Willowick Public Library.
Yeah.
And we were able to, thank God, get some internet access to look up some online sources and also some literature as well.
Yeah.
And we printed off stuff, and we have it here today. It's all surrounded. People are kind of looking at us like we're kind of crazy.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff here.
We're kind of like bookworms here. We're kind of spread out here. We got a large spread here of all of our documents and everything we got going on. And so we're happy today.
Yeah.
And we figured out we kind of have a story about the kind of
basic.
Go ahead.
Exactly. Basically, through all of our research, we found sort of the origin story of the first use of spices.
Yeah, and it's kind of a multi-use thing, but it kind of happened on accident.
It happened on accident. So we're going to tell you a little story today. So buckle in.
Buckle in. This is a story. This is the inception
of spices.
This is the inception of spices.
Yeah.
No. This is the conception of spices.
Both. This is the
This is when spices were first created. This is the first known use of spices.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Just however you want to say it, however you want to flip it.
Right.
This is the first use ever of spices, which is pretty cool. I thought about it. I was laying in bed last night before we did this episode because I was really nervous about it today. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I was laying in bed and I just these thoughts about spices just crossed all the stuff we've been. I researched the last 5 months. You researched the last 3 months.
Well, yeah, but since the 70s though, for me.
Well, a long time ago.
You might do like me 40 years, you 3 months.
Some random B like elective class. No big deal. Anyways, I was laying in bed and I was thinking all these thoughts about spices crossed through my head, all the stuff we've been dealing with. Last night.
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, last night I was thinking about it in my bed, in my bunk, and on a tour bus, and I was just thinking about it, and I just thought to myself, wow, like there's a lot that goes into this,
right.
and the history is so deeply rooted, and it's such a cool thing.
It is cool. It's really cool. I say we just jump into it.
Let's jump right into it. And this is the first. No, it was an accident.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell them.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Here is the story of the origin of spice.
Spices.
Once, there was a man, a caveman. He lived in Pangaea.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Pangaea?
Back in the days when Pangaea was a thing.
Yeah.
When it was
all the continents were just molded together.
You could walk about.
You can
have a walkabout across the entire, land of the United not only the United States, every state, every state, every country, everything was together.
Everything was together. And there was only back then there was only a few cavemen walking around. The whole of Pangaea probably only had about like 12 or 15 cave people.
It was pretty rare you'd come across a cave person.
Right.
I mean, we imagine back from our research that we've gathered.
Yeah.
It was pretty tough. Like you'd run into one maybe once. They didn't really have years.
Yeah.
But you run into once every it would be a long time. You'd see one. It'd be a long time after that.
Really, and if our research is correct, mostly pterodactyls lived on Pangaea.
Yeah.
Few cavemen here and there, but it was really the pterodactyls sort of, and ruled the world back
exactly,
then.
Yeah. And we want to be clear because we don't really know. There was cavemen and cave women.
And cave women. Yeah, we say cavemen, but meaning
it's both genders.
Cave and men and women.
We don't mean to shortchange any cave women.
Yeah, right.
There was a lot of cave women.
Totally.
And the thing was that you would look for meat, and you would try to eat meat.
Right.
And that was the way that you would survive.
Sure. They would kill a pterodactyl, or there was plenty of deer roaming the land.
Deer.
So they would kill a deer. They got hungry.
Let's just
basically.
say they killed a deer.
They killed a deer.
We found that out from our research that this caveman in question, who we're calling
Pepper. His name is everyone called him Pepper.
Back in those days, they called him Pepper.
Yeah.
This was before anything.
Yeah, this was before even people had names. It was like a weird thing that they would call him even anything.
You'd only see one every once in a blue moon.
Right.
That wasn't even a saying, but you'd see one. It would be a long time before you saw a couple.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So everybody called him Pepper. The ones that actually saw him.
Right. The ones that saw him. Yeah. So one day, Pepper basically kills a deer because they would know how to eat. I mean, they realized that deer is their main source of food.
They would say if you didn't eat, then you would probably die.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's like, hey,
they figured that out.
I want to survive. I know that I have to eat meat in order to be staying alive and running around and doing stuff.
Right.
So I have to eat meat. So I have to kill stuff and then eat it. And probably it's better if I cook it.
Probably. Yeah. Exactly. So he takes a large rock and he smashes in the head of a deer. Which is, for him at this point in his life, it's normal. He needs it, and it's a normal day for him. He's like,
that's meat.
I'm gonna take this rock and kill a deer. So he does it that day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everyone, the few other cave people around him are like, cool. We can eat today. Let's do this.
Sure.
The deer, they cut it up. They use sharp stones to cut it up. But, they're also not particularly excited to eat it. They just need to eat it because it's like they realize that sustains them.
They're going to die if they don't.
Right.
And they feel sad for the deer. They didn't want to kill it, but they have to survive.
They have to.
And they know this is something. So they just eat it.
They eat it. And they're just sitting there eating it.
Raw meat.
Raw meat. And
what we know today is raw meat.
Exactly.
Unseasoned raw meat. Just imagine that.
Just imagine.
Uncooked, unseasoned, raw meat.
Yeah. Sitting there, just eating it. And then one day, Pepper kills a deer, right?
No one else is around.
No one else is around.
He kills the deer.
Exactly.
Cuts it up.
And he's like, wait a minute. He cuts it up, exactly. And then he's like, hold on, wait a minute. Where is everybody? Oh, they're over by the field.
Yeah, the field. They're over by the field. Yeah.
And he's in the woods. So he's like, I have to. You mean I gotta drag this deer back to everyone? They better thank me when I get back.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can't articulate all these words, by the way. This is our language being.
Yeah. We assume this is his train of thought. We don't really know.
Yeah, he's feeling the emotions, but he can't articulate it like we can. So basically he says, I have to carry this deer back to the other people that I know so they can eat too.
Yeah.
So he basically gathers a bunch of leaves.
Yeah, bushes off of
bushes. Yeah. He's to carry, because he doesn't want to just carry in his hands. So he puts the meat in these bushes, brings the meat back.
Yeah. And the thing is that once he got back to the people, he has all this meat with bushes and everything all wrapped up. He's got everything, all the meat kind of packaged in these little bushes. He gets back there, and everybody was gone.
Yeah.
Everybody was gone. Everybody had left him. He didn't know where to go. He didn't know how he was going to survive. But you know what he did? He took the meat. He carried the meat because he knew it might be a week. It might be a long time before we ever saw another deer, another way to get meat.
Yeah.
So he just took that and kind of carried it forward, just hoping. He had eaten spoiled meat in the past. It was not good. It was not palatable. It made you sick.
Right.
It could kill you back in those days.
Right.
It's like, this is caveman stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking no shoes.
Right.
We're talking maybe just some hide or something he's walking on.
Yeah.
Nothing
fancy
nothing
here.
fancy. And so he hiked for about 10 days with this meat on his back.
Yeah, exactly.
Strung up on his back.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept him warm at times. It actually, kept him from predators and stuff. He warded off predators because of this meat. And he finally sat down and was ready to eat this meat.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, not only was the meat preserved, but the meat tasted better.
Yeah, the meat tasted better because it had been sitting in these leaves that gave it a different flavor than just
he
raw.
Was normally used to.
Yeah, so he tasted it and he said, wait a minute, you mean if I take some plants and stuff
and put it on
the meat,
it
actually enjoy eating it as opposed to just having to eat it.
And plus it lasts longer.
It's like
a double entente,
Yeah, exactly.
And he was sitting right next to a campfire because he had been hiking, so he started a fire and he thought,
wait a minute, maybe I can just put this meat on the fire.
Maybe it'll be better. Who knows? At this point, he had a lot of meat. It was still pretty good, and he thought, let's put it on the fire. So he cooked the meat.
Yeah. And then he ate it, and guess what? It tasted great.
Yeah. He cooked of it, and he ate of it.
He ate of it.
And
he loved it.
He loved the taste of it.
But now here's the other part. All his friends that kind of left, they came back one day, and they saw him.
Sure, they sure did.
And they said, hold on, why is Pepper putting those leaves on the meat, number one? And then why is he putting it over the fire?
Yeah, and they said, that's kind of corny.
Yeah, they did. They said that's kind of corny.
So that's
you mean like the fire, the thing that like we warm ourselves with? That's
helps?
Like you're putting that on the food?
Yeah. And they thought they started calling him peppercorn. It's like that's corny.
Yeah, right. And
so
then
they started calling him peppercorn.
They started calling him peppercorn. Exactly. So they tried to because they thought it was so crazy what he was doing. They tried to kill peppercorn.
Yeah, famous story. Everybody knows about that. This part is where it gets real famous.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So they tried to kill him, and Peppercorn said, "Wait.
I have a secret.
Try this meat.
Try this piece. See that meat right there? His face was about to get stuck into the fire.
Yeah, right.
So it's
exactly.
told.
So the story goes, as we've all been told.
And there was a piece of meat, freshly cooked meat, sitting right next to it. Medium rare, maybe.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right.
We think medium rare.
We think scientists have said they think it's medium rare.
Freshly spiced with all of the plants. It was a very early rudimentary spice. We think it was maybe a rosemary. Something along those lines. And that's more of an herb.
It's more of an herb, but yeah, exactly.
It was kind of the first spark at what was it? What is that? Ooh.
Right. Or because herbs, I feel like herbs led to spices.
Led to spices.
But herbs at the beginning were the gateway to spices.
The gateway, and for that matter, salt and pepper today are gateway into other spices.
Right.
But
exactly.
We digress.
Let's
go back to Pangea.
Pangea. We're back in Pangea. The guy who was about to kill Peppercorn was like, okay, listen, I'm going to kill you.
We'll try the meat.
But I'll try the meat first, just to see. Lo and behold, they try the meat, and they flip out.
It actually tasted like something.
They picked up Peppercorn. They hoisted him on their shoulders.
Yes.
And then they said, you are a new king.
Yeah, and they stripped him down, and they wondered. They said, hey, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Where did you go? How did you do that?
And Peppercorn said, I'll show you. And he led them into the woods.
To a bush.
To a numerous
bush. To an area filled with bushes.
And he showed of them how to take the deer meat or any meat
and take of the branch.
And take of the branch, rub the leaf or the herb on the meat, and that's how spices were
created.
So were created, and then later, as we all know, peppercorn, because they were going to kill him, because they betrayed him. Later, he killed all of them.
He killed all of them, and then ate their meat. But he's also obviously, by now you've caught on to the whole name thing, and he's actually the one who would discover peppercorn. What we know today is peppercorn.
Right.
And he saw it and he found it and thought, this was probably the pinnacle of my career. This is me. This is my
I'm gonna name it after me.
After myself.
Yeah. And it was good, and it stuck. I mean,
and now it's still. We all know it today. It's still around.
So that one caveman on Pangea
God
bless him, figured out, how to make food enjoyable. That's what this basically boils down to. Food used to be a thing you just did, and you just had to eat to survive. He actually made food enjoyable. He was the first chef, really.
Yeah.
He was the first
chef. And I think about, all the families that be sitting around eating their meat together that would just be bland meat. It wouldn't taste like nothing. Today, it tastes like something.
Right.
And we can have him to thank for that.
We can thank peppercorn.
That caveman,
prehistoric man. Yeah.
And that's the story we came up with at the library.
That was our months and months and years of research.
I was doing 5 months. I did 5 months right in a row.
Right.
It was just
for me,
it was really recently. So
right.
That was the most. That's why it's so fresh in my mind. It was
for me though. I've lived it with it so many years, and it just kind of seeps into your bone, gets into your bones, all the research and stuff. So it's nice to have you as a new
it's
person
good to have it fresh in your mind. It's good to have a fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
I think you'll agree to that. And it's good to have a fresh. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
And
you're not correcting me, so that's good. And so
and
it's
I know
fresh in your mind.
For me though, it's nice to have a research assistant like you to sort of get keep me updated on stuff.
That's
thank
why
you for that.
My little nephew, he was really good in helping you. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I told him one of my friends, he's really good, but he needs a lot of help.
Oh.
And he said, why don't you need help? And I said, why? Because I'm smarter. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. That's cool. I'll go help him.
Wow.
That's cool. So
I'm
really glad you guys you're almost up to my status.
Maybe
that's really great. Anyways.
I'm there. I'm past that. But anyway, either way.
All right. Well, let's just jump right into our next segment here.
Yeah.
We have a field report. You pounded the pavement. You went and you visited. Where'd you go?
That's
visited
right.
Somewhere.
I went to this great little place. Hopped in the car and I drove right over to the Euclid Spice
You hopped in the old Pinto?
Yeah, I drove with the old Pinto. I threw off the tarp, got her out of the garage, and wiped it down with a ShamWow.
I knew you were going to say that.
I know.
Yeah, that's your thing.
That's my thing. Did you know you can clean anything with a ShamWow?
I do. Have you been conditioning those seats? I know that leather cracks. It's real fragile, so you got to make sure you condition that.
The 78s are especially crackable. That's what they say.
Sure.
So I condition it almost twice a day.
Wow. Okay.
Think about that. That's pretty dedicated.
So for someone that knows a lot about conditioning leather, which I do, I'm going to say it's a little much. You don't want to do it twice a day.
No,
maybe once a week. Twice a day is a little bit overkill. But anyways, jumping right into.
No. Let's not move on actually, because it's real quick. I just want to say, if you knew anything about this kind of leather,
Here we go. What kind are we dealing with here?
It's you probably never heard of it. It's Slovakian leather.
Yeah,
right, you've never heard of it, probably.
Oh, the cheap stuff.
No,
that's
actually,
factory.
no, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Yeah.
Anyway, so you went to that's interesting, the Euclid Spice Shack.
Yeah, it's a great little spice shop on Euclid Avenue.
And when you say little,
yeah,
you mean little.
Oh, I mean very, very little.
We're talking. What are we talking? Are we talking broom closet? What are we talking here?
Right. It's somewhere between a broom closet and a little... like in people's kitchens where they keep bread, like a little bread holder.
Wow. Oh, and you mean a bread box? Yeah, right. I know about bread boxes. Sure. Yeah.
Right.
I like a real fresh loaf of bread, so I know a lot about that. But I don't think that's weird because I don't think people could fit in there. It seems real small. Anyways, so that's like a local profile. It's a local business profile, and you went there and you met everybody.
Yes.
Talk about what happened.
Oh my gosh, I learned so much about spices. You probably think you know something about spices.
Yeah, something.
You don't.
That's an understatement.
You don't. Yeah, because after I went here, I learned a lot more than I'm excited for you.
So what happened?
I'm excited for you to hear it, especially because
well,
you'll learn so much from it.
Here's the thing. So you took all your experiences and you edited it down into a condensed version. So you're telling me that all I have to do is listen to what you did, and then I'll learn everything? Sounds great. I mean, it sounds like you just cut out the legwork for me, which I'm really happy about because I've been really busy the last couple of days doing all kinds of cool stuff. So this is awesome that it's like the abbreviated version. I'm really happy you did that. Thank you.
Well,
let's just jump right into it. Let's just jump right in. So you went there. This is Gordon Fishman's field report.
Yeah, at the Spice Shack.
Profiling the local business, the Euclid Spice Shack, where all the citizens of Euclid go to get their spices.
That's right.
It's a local spice shop. So here, let's go jump right on into it. The Euclid Spice Shack, hit and pound the pavement with the tape recorder. Let's hear what we got.
Here we go.
Thanks for coming. Thank you. Welcome to the Spice Hut. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I have some questions for you.
I was in an unfamiliar place, in a part of town I was unfamiliar with. Even though I felt unfamiliar, I shuffled along anyway. Then suddenly, the fragrance of the shop stopped me in my tracks.
Very busy. Can you just say your name and the name of your shop here? Of course, my name is Ronald Waterhouse, and the name of the shop is the Euclid Spice Hut. Okay, that's fantastic. What got you... Well, the store was bequeathed to me by my late father, who also had a passion with spices and a lust for life.
He told me that his father had a lust for life. I saw a photo of him and his father on the wall, but it ended up being just a stock photograph in a recently purchased J.C. Penney frame. But still, I saw it.
My friends are often telling me things like, you keep responding, you know the answer. I think that you can complete my sentences, and I don't know how people are confused as to how I do that. Well, maybe you're a psychic. I thought about that. Maybe. I thought about that. Okay, wow. So come on in. Okay, yeah, this is great. Yeah, wow. You got a good spread here, huh?
He let me in, and man, did he have a nice spread.
My grandfather picked out this location for this back in the early days. Wow. Back in the very, very early days. The very, very early days. A long time ago. Wow, yeah, I mean, geez. What year was this place founded? Oh, wow, geez. This was founded back in 1981. Wow, that's not really that long ago.
Out of a damp mop closet from which no light escapes, stepped the pale, milky white co-owner, Jerry Whitehorse, who immediately told me about his favorite explorer, Ferdinand Magellan.
I am the head to the Ferdinand Magellan fan club here in Euclid, and I've just always loved spices. I love the way that spices bring me flavor to my foods, and I like all the spices that I can get to create an interesting dinner or recipe for my girlfriends who come over and I make them dinner. And
as he talked, I couldn't help but notice that upon his oily chest rested a golden salt shaker amulet from which I could not divert my gaze. I stared longingly at it, and I think it stared back.
With me on the road whenever I travel, even if it's to the store to pick up some milk. Wow. That's, ladies like the spice guy, I guess. Why the spice business? Well, see, spices have always been a huge part of my life ever since I was a little kid. I would just put spices on anything that my mom or dad gave me to eat. That included Twinkies or Little Debbie's. Hold on, you put spices on Twinkies? I'll put spices on anything, Gordon. Wow, all right, that's interesting. And you should too. You should put spices on everything that you have. Every little food that you consume should be spiced with something. If it's not spiced with GMOs, like Monsanto, you should spice it. Wow. If it ain't GMO'd, you should spice it. Monsanto says you gotta spice everything you got. What I gotta tell you is spice it. Just spice it. Find a spice and put it on it. Wow, okay. There you go, there's that. And actually, something that we offer exclusively in the Euclid Spice Shack is our Magellan Robot. It's a Magellan. It's a computerized version of Ferdinand Magellan.
This robot got me thinking, what was it? And why was this man talking to me about it? So I asked.
Okay, so what does the Magellan Robot then do here? The Magellan Robot, we had many historians from some of the top universities in the country come and program what we think the image, the likeness of Magellan, the personality, the things that we know Magellan knew, the places that Magellan traveled. We had historians program all that information into a robot. And what you do is you come up and you input all the ingredients and your desired dining experience into the Magellan computer. And the Magellan computer calculates all your entries, and it taps into the original soul of Magellan and the brain of Magellan, the explorer, the Portuguese explorer who set up an operation to the East Indies from 1519 to 1522. And he was one of the first gentlemen to ever circumnavigate the globe, mind you. And one of the things that this computer does, once you input your desired dining experience into the computer, Magellan, it harkens back to the soul and brain of Magellan to issue you a complete list of all the spices that you need to make the food. It includes a list of all the ingredients you need to make the best meal possible with what you have.
Jerry led me to an ancient, oversized computer that still ran Windows 98. It was gray, with a brownish tint from decades of use. There was a small, chubby teen at the helm, who I later learned was Jerry Whitehorse's nephew, Kiefer Whitehorse. He smelled of CK1. The only thing that diverted my gaze from his acne was his Kool-Aid mustache and sweat-soaked Tommy Hilfiger shorts. His eyes were glued to the screen. What was he playing, you ask? A little game called Doom. His fingers glided across the keyboard, which was protected with a dirty, yellowed plastic encasing. His fingers eagerly clicked on the dirty old mouse that made dirty old clicking noises. It was the kind of computer that you would find in a gas station. Kiefer was in the midst of an intense level.
Doom is God!
He was getting angry. Very angry.
Ball hairs!
He yelled obscenities the likes of which these ears have never heard.
Shit, balls, fuck!
I suspected that the teen heard these cusses whilst hanging outside the local Spencer's Gifts, an unsavory erotic toy and souvenir chain.
I'm gonna be class president, make everybody play Doom!
Jerry began to grow angry at his nephew's bad attitude.
Get out of here!
He quickly put the kibosh on Kiefer's misbehaving and shut off the computer.
I wanna play Doom still!
The frightened teen fled like a wild animal, retreating into the building's darkened, dank boiler room.
Nobody can stop me! Doom!
Jerry assured me that the teen would be banned from playing Doom for at least a fortnight. I agreed with Jerry's discipline. Next, Jerry rebooted the system. And that's when I realized this wasn't just a normal computer. It was connected via cable to a large, foreboding male figure, Ferdinand Magellan.
Okay, here I am. I'm going to use the Magellan Robot here. I'm just approaching it. Okay, here it is. I'm just going to describe it to you. It looks like just a regular department store mannequin.
Good evening. I am Magellan. Good evening. I am Magellan.
He seems to recognize that I'm here. His mouth moves up and down when he talks, but he looks...
Input your ingredients. Please input your ingredients.
He kind of... He's a mannequin, but...
Magellan.
He's dressed in old robes. I mean, the way I guess Magellan dressed. So I'm just gonna do what he says. I'm just gonna type in here. Let's see, chicken, and.
You have chosen chicken.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna. What else here? And then I guess just press enter.
Next, choose what flavors you would like.
Okay. Here, what are my choices here? Cajun, buffalo. Oh, there's actually many different pages of flavors. I'm just going to choose...
During my travels in the East Indies, I came across many delicious recipes, some of which I will share with you today. Please enter your desired dining experience now.
Okay, wow, this thing's actually pretty cool. Okay, so chicken, I got chicken here. I got, what else do I got in my fridge? Lettuce. I know I got lettuce. I got carrots, and I got tomatoes. Okay, so let me just type all this in, and the little button says execute. So, okay, let's see what happens.
In complete order. Please enter additional items.
Okay, oh, you know what, this thing right here, it says there must be 7 items. Okay, I'm just trying to think of what else I have in my fridge here. I have,
Please remember, all the spices listed on this computer are available right here at the Euclid Spice Shack for you to purchase today for a low, low price. Back during my expeditions in the East Indies, spices were just valuable as gold. However, you can buy them for very cheaply in today's economy. So enjoy, civilian.
Let's see what spices he tells me to get here. Let me just, okay, so here it is.
Computing. While you wait for your recipe, let me tell you a tale of lore, dear sir.
Cool.
During my travels to the East Indies, I came across many bush and bush people, some of which knew the ways of spices, and some did not. From my various satchels, I pulled out these spices I have came across on my travels to trade with the town people. These town people had no
I think it's broken. His eyes are glowing red.
That I would be bringing them such spices. They had no idea what seasoned meat actually tasted like. Once these townspeople got a look at my meat, seasoned with the best spices known to man at the time, they could not resist. I recruited them to be a part of my ship. I rewarded each townsperson a medal of honor for acknowledging my presence and my knowledge of spices.
Okay, so how do I print this out now? I was going to print me out a recipe.
Your chicken perpica recipe is now printing. Please pick up your printed copy below my groin and head towards the cash register today.
Okay, I'm reaching in here. Oh, wow. They actually put a fake penis down here. Could feel the penis. I didn't think I'd ever feel Magellan's penis, but I am now. And here's the piece of paper is coming out underneath the penis, and there's my recipe. Well, this is cool. I got my recipe right here, and
we hope that you enjoy your spice experience. And remember, Magellan named the Pacific Ocean, and that's pretty dang cool.
My journey to the Euclid Spice Shack has given me an all-new appreciation for spices, and Magellan, and heck, even Doom. This is Gordon Fishman saying, keep it cool and spicy.
Please enjoy your spices, town person. For I, Ferdinand Magellan, have proven to the world that the earth hath be round.
Wow, what a great piece.
Thank you.
Really nice job on that. I never knew that place existed even.
It's there, and they do their spice thing, and
how about that robot, huh?
That's the Magellan Robot was fantastic.
Never knew that existed.
I learned so much, and did you know it's actually available for parties?
No.
You can rent it out.
How did I know that? No.
Well, you'd think you would have. I forgot. I know more about the whole thing than you.
I wouldn't want to have a Magellan Robot at my. Like, what kind of parties would they?
Well, they have them for kids' birthday parties, and the little you can attach a little mouthpiece to the mouth that blows up balloons.
Oh.
And you can it teaches all the kids about spices, and it's just, why wouldn't you want to have it at a party? I'm gonna have it for every party I ever have now.
The whole thing, the last part about the penis being there, I wouldn't want the kids to grab on that.
You can detach it. The penis is easily not easily. It's detachable. Okay. It's not easy, but
some couple of bolts.
It's like a whole. They give you the penis removal manual. It's like a big.
You have to do it yourself.
You have to do it yourself, and they say, look, as long as you return it to us with the penis and balls intact, you can remove it. But
it's like they have a whole security deposit just for that.
Yeah. So if you're gonna have a kid's birthday party, definitely remove the penis.
But you have to have a place to hide that big old computer, that nasty old computer.
Yeah, right. So it's a whole thing, but yeah, it's good for any party.
That's great.
It's fine, and it's I think $5,000 an hour to have it at a party, but it's worth it.
That seems like a lot.
No,
For you maybe, but no, it's not a lot. It's pretty cheap actually.
Wow, okay. I guess you gotta pay for paper and everything.
Yeah, you do. Oh yeah, and I have an update actually about. Do you remember Kiefer Whitehorse?
Sure.
He was the kid playing Doom.
The kid playing Doom that I heard about a minute and a half ago. Sure. Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember him.
Well, he just won a Doom competition. Actually,
they have Doom competitions.
They had a Doom competition a couple weeks ago.
Imagine that crowd, what they're bringing in.
Oh my gosh! Oh, but he did great though. It was over at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Vine Street in the basement.
Great venue.
Great venue, and the winner got $300. He won, so he got $300. The whole thing was put on by Beef O'Brady's and. I think Kinko's was also in the mix, but
Beef O'Brady's they're the ones with those really awesome mozz sticks, right?
Mozzarella sticks. They have really good mozzarella sticks, and
awesome. They specialize in appetizers. They actually don't have any entrees.
No, just appetizers.
And they don't call them tapas either.
No.
They're just appetizers.
Appetizers.
Like full portion appetizers. Everybody gets their own appetizer, and it's kind of a cool thing.
That's right. They even have a bowl of soup. You know how sometimes soup will come in a bread bowl?
Uh-huh.
Well, this one comes in like a mozzarella stick bowl.
Oh, that's awesome.
So actually, since he won that $300 purse, they're going to put that money into renovations to the Euclid Spice Shack.
Great.
So they're going to tear out the floor that's in there already. They're going to put in an all bamboo floor.
Nice. It shouldn't cost much. It's tiny in there, right?
It's really small. I think, what did we say? It's about the size of it's like a seashell, like that kind of size. A small seashell.
Wow.
Anyway.
Not much room in there.
Yeah, it's small. But yeah, so they're gonna put in that flooring, and they're gonna do a couple other things with it too. They're gonna they're getting a female. They're gonna do another robot that's like Magellan's wife.
Wow.
Magellan.
They think they should update that computer. Would be the first thing that I would do.
Yeah, you would think, but
I would think.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, well.
Which it does break a lot.
Also, we've received word that the Euclid Spice Shack has given our podcast an exclusive prize pack.
Yes.
You get a prize. You get a Euclid. There's like a $2 gift card in here. There's like a free season grinder, I guess you could call it, like a spice grinder.
Spice grinder.
You get there's a couple of potpourri balls in here that kind of smell like cool things, and this will all be yours. All you have to do is you come into the Enclave Coffee House. You get one of these forms. You rip off the perforation, sign it, fill it out. There's also a brief survey that you take.
Yes.
And it's about 40 pages. You take the survey.
Whoa, 40, that's a lot.
You take the survey, and basically, then there's a raffle. And then once you take the survey, you fill out the form, you put it in. There's a raffle.
Right.
After the raffle, we pick 4 people.
Right.
And we give them keys, and then they go over to the Euclid Spice Shack, and whichever person opens the keys to the new female Magellan Robot is going to be the one that is going to win the prize pack.
The prize pack. That's right.
This is huge. I mean,
It's a huge opportunity.
This is a huge opportunity for one of our listeners. We're really happy everybody's been tuning in so far.
Right.
And we're going to be honest with you, we're really looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah.
Episode 5 is looking great. This is our 4th episode. Episode 5 is going to be awesome, guys.
We have some plans.
We got some great stuff happening.
Get ready.
Stuff in the works.
Get ready.
Great stuff down the pipeline, as they say.
Yeah, sure.
And we want to thank everybody for coming into the Enclave Coffee House time after time.
Time after time, just like the song.
Just like
time
the
after
song.
time.
And it's like, we hope that you learned a little bit about spices today.
Yeah.
Because it's something that we all take for granted.
It really is. It's an issue that I really care about.
I know. You keep saying issue.
Well, it's an important issue in my family.
Not really an issue. It's more of like a thing. Spices.
It being a very important issue, I'm just glad.
I'd like to correct you. I'd like to say that that's actually wrong, and you've been saying that a couple times that it's wrong, and so at the end here I'm going to say you're wrong.
Well, does anyone have a Webster's dictionary around? Because maybe we can actually look up issue, and then maybe... Well, either way...
No, he does.
I think everyone here...
Nor should we have to.
No, that's okay. Everyone here
I
already...
Right in here. I'm tapping on my head right now. You can't see it, but I'm tapping on my head because it's all right up in the noggin.
Yeah.
We don't need no dictionary.
Everyone here agrees with me, and we're gonna. Thanks for listening, everybody, and
thank you very much for listening. We want to thank all of our faithful listeners.
Yes.
For listening every time.
Every time.
We're gonna welcome you back to the next episode. Keep subscribing. Tell your friends about it.
Tell your
Get
friends.
Out there. Come see us live here at the Enclave Coffee House.
Exactly.
Come see us. Come say hi.
And you know what? Real quick update on our website.
The website's coming soon.
The website's coming soon. What's the last thing we heard was...
We have a team of engineers working.
Yeah.
And this website's looking cool, you guys.
Oh, my gosh. You guys
won't
believe it.
It's going to take about 3 years.
That's the thing.
2.5, 3 more years. It's going to take a while.
It's going to take a little while. But God, it's going to have...
cares?
Who cares? It's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's how long websites take.
Yeah. You're going to be able to email us through that.
Oh.
It's going to have a link to our Facebook page.
Yes.
The Facebook page is coming soon,
It's coming soon, too. That's, I think, about 5 years, the guys told me.
Yeah, we're posting photos. We're getting photos ready to post them. You know, apparently you have to have a whole backlog of photos and cool stuff to post before you actually start the thing, which I didn't realize. But,
right.
You know, this day and age, a lot of stuff, a lot of details.
Sure.
So we're looking forward to all that.
Yes.
So you're going to be able to connect with us. I know a lot of people have wondered, how can we connect with you? How can we...
Now they have a way.
Now they will have a way.
They will have a very clear and easy way.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, everybody, for listening,
a lot, guys.
We'll see you next time. I'm Gordon Fishman.
And I'm Seth Winters.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
The Community Arts Council is made possible through generous donations from the Knights of Columbus, C. Pearson's Trophy Shop, the water slide at the Dudley Public Pool, the small hole in my backyard that I think was made by a community of moles, and listeners like you.